Okay guys, welcome back to some more SkyFactory 4. Oh yeah, we are back and we are ready for business. Last episode was just kind of a catch-up, see how things are doing, and making some plans for these episodes to follow. I had asked you guys, of the plans we looked at, we made a little list, right? If we remember. Oh, oh, there it is. Got it. We want to do all these things. And I asked you guys, what are you most interested in? And from your comments, there were none. That means we get to do what I want to do. Oh, and you may notice a big change has been made here at the base. We used to have this big old platform right here that we started out with, making our trees and whatnot. And yeah, I took that all out. And I am planning eventually also to take out this platform or modify it. I haven't decided, and take out this one or modify it as well. I added in this big plane of grass here to kind of match like we had this semicircle, and I was originally planning, and I had actually like charted out, outlined, that's the word. I'd actually outlined this semicircle, or the circle continuing. You can see that's where it has the edge of it and continuing over. I got rid of all of that, and because I was like, okay, I don't want to get rid of this thing, okay, but I also don't want to have like a weird, just this rectangle and 3/4 of a circle. So I just decided, let's do this whole thing rectangle. You may notice it's still weird. I've used the rest of the bases, kind of step down, oak, spruce, oak, walkway. But then over here, what we did, we already had all this built, and it's all on, a block up, and it's just the oak, and yeah. So it's kind of weird. I might need to trim this out, move that, change this side so that it actually works with this whole pattern through the base. With that, I do have a question for you guys, and I really would appreciate your feedback on this in the comments. What should we do with this? Mainly, do we want to make this like a building? Like, do I want to put actual walls around the whole thing right here? This would be like the front of the building. You could have like a cool, archway, entryway or something. And then I was thinking, we have this semicircle wall and maybe little like claw things almost, like pointing in towards our big old mob farm. I don't know what would be best, so I really, really would appreciate if you want to comment down below what you think would look cool for this. Or the alternative is leave it as it is, but maybe put a pillar there, put a pillar there, put a pillar in the back, that kind of thing, to be a little more structurally sound. And for any of you SkyFactory 4 experts, I have a lighting issue with just spamming torches everywhere, and it does not look good. Yeah, I'm not a fan of it. And yeah, now that we have like we've taken out, we used to have this almost covered by our little platform here, but now we can see all the imperfections that are coming out there. Anyways, yeah, so if any of you SkyFactory 4 experts have recommendations about light blocks, what's been the best for you, let me know. I'd love to pretty things up here a little bit. Okay. That being said, as I mentioned before, I am going to choose, because you guys didn't have any input on what you would like to see most. And so I'm going to go based off of what's going to be most important, I think, and going to speed things up the best, which I think the ME storage system is going to be the most important thing. And so what I've done here, I've done a lot of the grunt work that might not be as enjoyable to watch. And I have this, I have this ME chest of things we're going to need. And as I think about it, let's actually, this will make things especially easy. I'm going to throw down a crafting station. And yeah, now we can access this chest. Okay, sweet. That's going to make things quick. But yeah, I looked through the progression here in the advancements. And you can see, yeah, I'm already starting out. And I looked through what we're going to need for all of these, or at least most of them. You know, I don't know if I have everything we need, but I just wanted to speed things up that way. So I put together a bunch of stuff. For example, I made these Fluix crystals already. And they're used for quite a few things, I think. You get them by doing the metallurgic infuser, which we have down below. And you just put in some redstone, throw in crystallized mineral chunks, which we have a ton of, and you get Fluix crystals. So those are pretty easy. Let's see. Then crushed quartz is just quartz that has been crushed. If you couldn't tell. So yeah, that's what crushed quartz is. Fluix dust is probably just the Fluix crystals. Okay, not in a crusher, but in an enrichment chamber. Okay. No. Okay, I'm doing the wrong thing. Recipe. Yes, it is a crusher. You do crush it to get the Fluix dust. And then the only other thing was this pure nether quartz crystal, which you may notice. So you put these nether quartz seed in the enrichment chamber, and the recipe says a 66% grown nether quartz seed. So if you look, these nether quartz seeds, so you put the crushed quartz with some sand, and you get these little tiny nether quartz seeds. And I don't know if they changed it or made it slower. What you would do in the past is you would take one of those seeds, and I have an example here, and you'd throw it in water, and you just let it sit. It doesn't despawn, and it's supposed to grow. Guys, this has been here for hours. This has been here for hours, and it has 0%. And I know there's like growth accelerators. I don't know if there's like a different liquid you can use. Anyways, but what I figured out was, despite what the recipe says, you don't actually have to have these grown to enrich them. They can just be the 0%, and it goes into a pure nether quartz crystal. So yeah, a little misleading there, but we've got our nether quartz crystals, and it's all okay. So let's, oh yeah, one other thing you already saw as I ran past. I noticed that sand and quartz is especially important for the ME stuff. And so I made some dedicated sand and quartz makers with some more mulch. Oh my gosh, I have so much to show, guys. I forgot. The whole episode is just going to be me showing off-camera stuff again. I started this fertilizer production here, where we collect sewage with the animal sewer. I just have some range add-on in there so that if there are any animals around, it's just going to collect sewage. And then that sewage, the fluid goes into the composter, and once the composter has enough, I think it looked like 2 buckets, so 2,000 millibuckets, then it creates a fertilizer. And then this fertilizer is actually used for quite a bit with the mulch. It's used as, you can use it as brown dye as well. But let's see, was that mulch? Yeah, so you need it for like ruby mulch, you need it for, I think, yellow mulch. Or recipe, oh no, you need the biofuel for that. Okay, yeah, okay, so we're not even using this technically. It's the biofuel that I made. I also made biofuel, which was just putting, basically I put a bunch of saplings in a crusher, which we have down below. And that was really easy. But we do need these for later mulches, so I started that up. You may notice that there are less pigs than there were before. That's for 2 reasons. One, we actually had a lightning storm, and a huge bunch of them got struck by lightning and turned into nether, the zombie pigments, and then they burnt up in the sun. I think they disappeared, and I'm assuming that's what happened. So we have a few less pigs for that reason. We also have less because I made some sand pigs and threw them in here to also get some extra sand. But I noticed that, yeah, the sand production over here, the pigs don't do a great job. they're a little slow. I think I have 5 of them in there. Yeah, not as slow as the steel, goodness gracious, but still pretty slow with the sand truffles. But we do have that as a side production method. But I noticed that was being so slow, and so I went over here and made our bonsai pot machine. And that should be everything kind of caught up there. I would note, so the whole series I've kind of been trying to figure out, how do we do these bonsai pots? Because there's the conundrum that you get way more acorns than you do resin. And not only do you get more acorns, so let me explain that a little better actually. Because I'm pretty bad at explaining things sometimes. Okay, so these sand saplings, you put them in the bonsai pot. Yep, there it is. And it has all of these outputs. And each of these outputs have a random chance every time that the sand sapling grows. So the acorns have a 50% chance. The sand resin has a 35% chance. So we're going to get, just by chance, more acorns than we do resin. However, for the most part, the useful crafting recipes for like sand or quartz or whatnot uses more resin than acorns. And so the problem is we get more acorns in general, and then we use less acorns. And so you just keep building up acorns and it just clogs your system. And I've tried a couple of things, and this I think is probably the simplest way to go about it. Is I have these clocks and I've just timed them so that they go off almost exactly, a little slower than, so we don't run out of items and mess everything up, but almost exactly when we would randomly by chance get 5 extra resin. And so the number that I found has been a good safe number is 565. And so that's in ticks, and there are 20 ticks in a second. And so that's like, I don't know, 30 seconds is 600, and then we have 2, so like 28 and a fourth? Okay, 28 and a fourth seconds, guys, for that to go. And you notice, so I sent here in the chat, when I started this, when I booted up the world today, I had 34 quartz. This is ran for maybe 10 minutes before I started recording, and we're up to 36. And so we will slowly accumulate, which is a good thing because we don't want to run out, okay? There's going to be times when we're just randomly like, look, so now we're at 31, but then we're going to get back up to, yeah, 36, look. Anyways, and then over here for the quartz, I did the same thing. I had a stack and 30, now I have a stack and 46. Now the thing is, I do have to, that number is going to change depending on the type of soil I use. But I think that's probably the easiest way to go about it, is just find the number that works, and that's not too hard. You just do a little time test, and then yeah. So now we're gonna accumulate a lot of acorns per usual. We're just gonna trash them once we get 64 stacks. Yeah. Okay. How long did I take on that? Goodness gracious, almost 10 minutes of explanation, pretty much. Let's get to crafting. Let's do something, because guys, I'm actually almost running out of storage, and I keep having to go down here and add more chests, add more barrels, because I am cleaning things up and throwing things into, yeah. Basically, storage has become an issue, so it's a great thing that we are doing this. So let's achieve something today, guys. We made the Fluix crystals. Now we need to make logic processors. I don't know why I tried to say it processor. Like a dinosaur. Processor. So the recipe for logic processors, we need inscribers, which do I already have? I don't know if I already have them, but I'm going to make them. And I'm going to make, I think, like 3 of them. We're going to do inscribers with printed logic circuit, redstone, and printed silicon. And that's what we get the logic processor from. And we use this for quite a few things, for the ME terminal, for the crafting unit, for IO ports, for annihilation cores, for storage components. So we're going to need a lot of these, is the baseline. I don't know how many is good to start out with. Maybe like a stack of them. How much gold did I put in here? Yeah, maybe more than a stack. We'll see what happens. Because yeah, so to do this, we inscribe these. So we need the silicon, which to get the so we need to get the silicon, which I have gotten. That's another thing. Let me show you how I got that. Just in the crusher with sand, you get silicon. Another reason why we need so much sand. That's how you get silicon. And then we use the inscriber on the inscriber silicon press, which we need to put a block of iron into this cobblestone circuit mold. And we get that by inscribing this chisel head cast and the cobblestone. Let's start with that. I have the chisel head cast. I have the cobblestone. So now we need to make the inscribers. So let's look up that recipe real quick. Oh, I don't want to double click. Inscriber. Let's make, I think I can make 3 of these was the plan. So I'm going to make 3 of these. I mean, long term, I guess we do need to go down below. I kind of wanted to put them up here for now. Just because, because it's going to be easier with all my stuff here. But, yeah, let's do it. That's not going to be too bad. I've already done plenty of wire finagling. So what is this? We have, okay. We can just go up that way if we wanted. Or we can, I think that's going to be the quickest way. Let's do that. It can be a temporal setting. I guess a setting. It can be a temporal setup. Is we are just going to pull out from this. And we're going to go up. Come on. Yeah, we need a jetpack or something soon, guys. I love these jumping boots, but it does get a little bit annoying when I'm not so precise with them. Come on, yep, there you go. We're gonna come down here. I guess over is gonna be the least, like, in the way of things. Yeah, this will definitely be a temporary setup, guys. Okay, but that should have power pulling up there, and I think we can just test. What do we have that needs charged? Yeah, you're all charged up. So yeah, we're making enough power, which is surprising. We literally only have 2 culinary generators making or running off of donuts, and they're going crazy. They're powering so much. We do have another culinary generator over there, which was also supposed to be temporary, but it's whatever. Yeah, we need to do better power sometime. But yeah, those connect. We're gonna have these inscribers here, temporary setup, like I said. But yeah, so we're gonna inscribe chisel head onto the cobblestone, and I'm curious, is it gonna consume the chisel head? Okay, it's going. Yep. Oh, it looks like we can probably upgrade. Okay, does not consume the chisel head. I do think we only need 1 of these though. It says will not be consumed when creating the mold. So I think we're only going to need 1. I'm going to put these there for now then. And then we need to inscribe, or no, we need to pour a block of iron onto this to get the silicon press. So let's go do that. We're going to smelt down a block of iron. And actually, I think it's faster to, let's break this into its pieces real quick. Shoop, shoop. Actually, and let me see, do we have iron amber? Yes, we do. We have iron amber that needs cooked. So let's just do that, guys. Yeah, we don't need to go so crazy. So that's gonna cook up really soon. So let me actually put these back. I also need feather falling, guys. I drop a lot. So yeah, okay. Go back to the logic processor. And how many are these super useful? Should we make, oh wait, what? Printed silicon? Oh yeah. What do we use? We use that for this, what? Okay, here we go. Okay, so we use these for all of the processors. So we probably do need a lot of silicon. But I wonder actually, the circuit mold, didn't get used up. I wonder if the printed silicon does. Okay, looks like we have, yep, we have our iron. So I think we throw that in, or let me do it over here. We throw that in there and it doesn't work. Okay, I poured in here. That's so funny. So we're pouring a whole block onto this, even though this is how much fits in a block. Don't ask me. Don't ask me questions. I don't understand. We do actually need to get rid of this nickel. It's clogging things up. Let the iron flow. Yeah, we've got a lot of nickel, guys. Okay, look at that. We've got our silicon press. Perfect. Well, that's interesting. The texture changes. It's like, oh, that's. Do you see it's like transparent at some places? But then in your inventory, it's just the gray because it's transparent. Yeah. Interesting. Okay. Enough of me getting distracted, please. So I don't think we need that anymore. Throw this there. So now we're going to put our silicon to get printed silicon. So I did make stacks of these because I assumed they were going to get used up. But let's... Well, the silicon definitely will. But I'm not sure if this silicon, printed silicon, is going to get used up. I assumed it would have. But maybe not, guys. So let's... Oh. If we need to make a ton more of those, we will. For now, let's make one. And let's go to the other side of it. So we've got our printed silicon. What do we need for the logic circuit? So we need gold, easy. But we need this inscriber logic press, which is that cobblestone circuit mold again. And molten steel. So this was actually silly of me, maybe. Oh, but what I can do... Hold up, how much iron do we have in here still? Perfect. What kind of coal things can I cook up, guys? I think if I do liquefied coal in here, so let's get resin, coal acorn, coal piece. Might as well get some coal in there. Is this going to work? Coal piece, no. Acorns, yes, and look at that, we get steel. What about some more acorns, more resin? What about actual coal? Yeah, that cooks up. We are getting steel, guys. That is perfect. We'll take it. Okay. We don't need a whole lot. That just makes things easy that I don't actually have to burn down the steel that we already have. I don't think... We have steel blend, so we could have done that. But this will make things nice. Let me shut off for now this guy so that I can flip back over to molten steel. And oh, I'm so silly, guys. I told myself I didn't need it and then I put it away, but I did need the cobblestone circuit mold. We take that back and we are gonna pour that steel on it. It's gonna continue to be made. Lots of lovely steel. And okay, it's drying now, or hardening, I guess is more accurate. Now we can go back and you can keep pump out the iron. You can keep going. Beautiful. That's illogical. What was the other one? Silicon Valley? Nice. Okay, now we have the inscriber logic press. We throw that in with some gold. Grab ourselves some gold and maybe some more silicon. We might need that. Now I think we're done with that, but probably not. So I'm gonna throw in the inscriber logic press, throw that guy in, and then we need redstone. Beautiful. We have the printed circuit. We have the silicon, throw in the redstone. I'm assuming these are all going to get used up. And yes, I was correct. Look at that, guys. We got a logic processor. Okay, but let's throw in... Ain't no way. Guys, it's one at a time. Guys, it's one at a time. I can't put, I'm trying to shift click. I can't put the whole stack in there. When I shift click, oh, that's the wrong recipe anyways. Yeah, when I click into it, it only puts one in. Oh my gosh. And there's 3 inputs, so I'm assuming it's gonna be, okay, let's just experiment. Let's just experiment. Do I have any hoppers? I have hoppers. Let's see what this looks like. If I put into the, so if I'm facing this way, this is the left. If I put, yes, so that fills in. I like that. If I put a hopper on top of this hopper, does it, guys, I'm not a hopper genius. Okay, it does. Oh, it does. It does. Okay. So we're gonna alternate sides. And it still works. Okay, I think it's actually, it seems pretty smart. Goodness, that hopper spit out quick. So we're just gonna be making those. Okay, but here we have 3. And that's really interesting. So if I go like this, what is this, a controller? Yeah, I don't even use that. If I go like this and I put in the printed logic circuit, it goes into there. If I go from the top, it does put it in the top. How do I get in the bottom then? Do I need to go from the back maybe? I wonder, do you think maybe on the side pieces I can put in more than one at a time? No, that's still one at a time. How do I get the bottom, guys? So it'll be there. I can wrap around, tear down the structure. Okay, I can wrap around here because I don't need this side. Take out that. Do I need to input the back? Man, this is a mess. I apologize. Okay, what happens if I throw those in? Ah. Yeah, I think I'm gonna have to pump into the bottom if I actually want to. They have these, I think, upside down. Yeah. Look at that. They have an upper. We could do that. We could do that. Hold up. Best way to do that is probably put it over on this side. You must. So stupid. Yeah, I accidentally vein mined there. Okay, you go there. Yes. And you go there. Okay. We're still in business. We're still in business. And then I think what we want to do is not vein mine the whole base, preferably, is put this guy. We could put him right here, honestly. Got it from the left side, up and bottom. Yeah, I'm down with that as long as we don't care about outputs right now, which we don't. Let's see, shift these out. Oh, did those get picked up by the hoppers? My bad. Yes, we just want gold in there. Okay. So then let's make, how do we do an upper? Okay, we just throw it in. Sweet. Guys, look at that. It's upside down. That's awesome. Okay, upper into this with the printed silicon. Beautiful. We are geniuses, guys. Teamwork makes the dream work. And then throw in the printed logic circuit. Beautiful. Throw in the redstone. Guys, look at that. Okay, now I'm just going to manually throw these in. And this is our machine. We are making logic processors. In the future, though, I definitely should, automate, use actual transfer pipes. It looks like these have upgrades. You can make them faster, I'm guessing, more efficient. And it looks like we're not running out of power anywhere, so that's good. So now, what are we looking on time? We are at 30 minutes, guys, just about. And so I don't want to go too much further. We have 21. That is 20. We have 2. Oh yeah. Sorry, I got ahead of myself. We've got 6, 8. We have 8 logic processors. And now we need to make some, I didn't look into the micelle, that's kind of an optional thing. We need to make an energy acceptor, we need to make an ME terminal, engineering press. I'm just gonna run by and show you how we make these basically. So energy acceptor. Energy acceptor is going to be the quartz glass is the only thing you guys haven't seen yet. So iron, flux crystals, we have. This is just the crushed quartz and the glass. So that's where this comes in, is for the energy acceptor. And we actually used the crystal glass, quartz glass for quite a few things actually. So I have quite a bit in there. Once again, another reason we need so much quartz and sand. And then the terminal is going to use some fancy pieces actually. So this is the crafting terminal, which is going to use a calculation processor, and an ME terminal, which uses the annihilation cores, which we kind of already look like, and the illuminated panel, which is more quartz glass. And so to get this, we just need some more special inscribers, which uses this tough alloy, which is kind of the weird thing. It's alloying lithium and ferroboron. Ferroboron is boron and steel. Yeah, some crazy metals. I'm going to save you guys though, and I'm going to do that off camera. And then next episode, hopefully we'll get all together and the ME system should be set up. But look at our cute little guys going up. Oh, wait. Why isn't this working? It is. It's just not showing the cute animation. I see. Maybe if we wait. Yeah, there we go. Look at these guys pressing away. They're so cute. Yeah, we made some good progress getting some logic processors cooking up. But yeah, sorry it took so much time again, just kind of going through and reviewing what's happening here. But I think it's important for you guys to see the things I do off camera as well, so you can be more a part of this. But we're going to call that an episode. Thank you guys again. Oh, I need to talk to you guys face to face. I haven't talked to you guys face to face in a long time. Yeah, thank you guys so much for watching again and for the support you guys have. I hope you're enjoying this series, because I really do like this technical side of things. And yeah, like I said earlier, please comment down below what you think about the structure. So prettying up this place, what should we do for this big kind of structure? And then also let me know if you do have any input on what you want to see from this list. I'll probably do storage system, and then probably either the better resource production or power generation, and then we're going to get into some fun Android things. But until then, I hope you guys have a wonderful day. We'll see you in the next one. Bye-bye.